Sustainability is like oxygen for Italian tanneries. Without a sustainability commitment, no Italian tannery could survive.
And here we are again at the 12th episode of Sustainability Talk with NNN. And today we have Luca from UNIC.
Hi, everybody. Good evening.
So, Luca, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about UNIC.
Thank you, Nicolò. I am born and raised in Milan, and I've been working for UNIC, the Italian Tanner Association, for the last 20 years. Yeah. Since December 2000. My actual charge in UNIC, I'm vice director, but I started to work in UNIC for the economic department of UNIC. At the end of 2016, I was appointed vice director, and so taking also responsibilities in some other fields in which UNIC is working on.
What does UNIC stand for?
Is the acronym for Unione Nazionale Industria Conciaria. That is the UNIC is the association, the entrepreneurial association, officially representing the Italian tanning industry at national and international level. UNIC was founded in 1946, so there is a long history. It is a totally private and a no-profit association, completely financed by Italian tanneries. We represent the Italian tanning industry. We promote the Italian tanning sector. Perhaps I can say that we provide services at 360 degrees for our tanneries in all the fields that they need service to. So from fair promotion to economic assistance, legal assistance, industrial relation assistance, and all this kind of stuff.
UNIC is also protecting the Italian tanneries. I don't know with if there is a new government, a new law. Is the
absolutely
association that go to discuss with the government or?
Absolutely. One of our main tasks is to follow all the regulation, all the legislative development, mainly here in Italy. We have continuous relationship with the government, with the local authorities, from the Ministry of Environment to the Ministry of Economic Development, and we lobby, and for sure we lobby them in order to protect the interest of Italian tanneries.
How many tanneries are associated with you guys?
At the moment, we have 170 tanneries that are members of UNIC. They represent a little bit more than 70% of the total tanning turnover here in Italy. So all the biggest tanneries are part of UNIC, and we have also more than 140 aggregated members in UNIC. They are not tanneries, but they are stakeholders of the leather value chain.
We want to know, and everybody wants to know, what is the annual turnover of the leather industry out of it?
2019, the total turnover of industry was about 4.5 billion euro. You need to take into consideration that more than 70% of this turnover comes from export. The Italian tanning industry exports to more than 120 countries.
Automotive, upholstery, and fashion. Do you have a percentage?
Our main clients is still the footwear sector, nearly 40% of total turnover, followed by the leather goods sector, about 25%, followed by the automotive industry with the 70%, the furniture industry, and then the garment industry, and then some secondary destination use. The automotive sector has really jumped in the last 15 years in terms of importance for our tanneries. We are a member of the Italian Confindustria, the Italian Confederation of Industry. So only Italian tanneries can be member of us.
What is sustainability for Luca?
It's like the commitment to act, to behave in a way that allows you to meet your needs, and at the same time not to prejudice the needs that our children will have in the future. It's like living your life without making damage to the future generation, I think. Well, I try to avoid to go by car to my office here in Milan, and I try to use like public transport, or better biking if the weather, allows it. And I would like to increase the possibility to avoid plastic, guys.
What is the UNIC guideline for sustainability?
Sustainability in our sector means a wide range of very different elements. We have always approached sustainability in an holistic way. So if we talk about sustainability, and when we talk about sustainability with our tanneries or with other stakeholders of the leather value chain, we always insist about this. Sustainability is a sum of different kind of commitment. It's about environment, for sure. It is about social responsibility, for sure. It's about ethics, like ethical production. We think that a lot of people, when talk about sustainability, sometimes they just consider one aspect instead of another aspect, and maybe they communicate and promote a particular commitment without taking into consideration some other very important element. Sometimes this is called like greenwashing, chemicals and the consumer protection, traceability, consumption of resources, environmental footprint, and all the data about the environmental impact. So we need to take into consideration wastewater, solid waste emission.
Can we say that UNIC, the association, is leading the Italian industry to change?
Well, we hope so. We hope so. We are really committed in about sustainability in UNIC. Well, I would say that for a very long time. Just to make an example, we have published our first sustainability report in 2003. And we have started to do this exercise because we have felt the need that our industry needs to communicate. Sustainability is like oxygen for Italian tanneries. Without a sustainability commitment, no Italian tannery could survive. Well, we have a very strict legislation.
Yeah.
For example, here in Italy about environment, we have to fulfill with the local strict regulation, with the national strict regulation, with European strict regulation. So we have always needed to be sustainable. Otherwise, probably we wouldn't have nowadays such a tanning industry here in Italy.
What are the biggest ESG issues that the tannery industry faces in Italy?
Wastewater treatment. All the three main tanning districts here in Italy, they have like a consortium plan for treating wastewater, and our industry has reached incredible results on this concern. We have decreased like the COD presence by 97% in the last 15 years. Social responsibility is absolutely another key issue for us. Also because you know that in Italy, the big majority of Italian tanneries, they are small and medium enterprises. All the people that works in tanneries, they work, like side by side with the owners. So there is a very particular relationship between tanners and tanneries workers. What we have done on this concern, we have invested a lot in guaranteeing safety condition in the workplace. And on this concern, I can share with you some of the data provided by INAIL, that is Labor Institute here in Italy for assessing the working condition. In the last 15 years, the accident ratio in the tanning industry has decreased by 42%. 90% of the tanning workforce here in Italy has permanent contracts. So our industry is really committed in guarantee all the rights to the workers, also in terms of giving them, like permanent condition, and so like safety. We have developed a UNIC code of conduct. It includes some of the most important commitments that owners must give to their workers in terms of like fair wages, in terms of transparencies, in terms of working rights.
What's the biggest advice, suggestion, or guidance that you give to the tanneries to be more sustainable?
What we do usually is to identify the needs, create a know-how and expertise in order to solve the problem, and then to manage it. Investing, for example, in minimizing water consumption, minimizing, for example, the use of solvents, energy efficiency. This is another very key element. Minimize the waste in terms of energy. We think another big issue that our tanneries needs to increase is about, for example, traceability. Transparency of the supply chain is one of the, I would say, key issue when we talk about sustainability in our industry. So the importance to have information and data about your supply chain. So, and if you know that, you can manage that. If you have the right information, then you know where you can improve, how you can improve, if you can improve.
What does UNIC do for traceability of the raw material?
Yeah, absolutely. We try to support our tanneries on this concern mainly in two manners. The first manner is to give them assistance about having information. What does it mean? A lot of brands, request information about the origin of the raw material, if some, for example, principle of animal welfare are respected, all this kind of stuff. We help them to to gather this information from the right authorities, sometimes from the suppliers as well. And another very important tools that we provide to our tanneries is through ECHEC. ECHEC is the Italian Institute for the Certification of Leather. ECHEC is part of UNIC Group, and ECHEC has developed in the last year 2 certification schemes about traceability of the raw material in the tanning industry. This is a very important tools that try to solve the problem of transparency in our supply chain, trying to give the guarantee to the clients that the tanneries have the information, have control of the supply chain, and at the same time they give guarantee to the tannery that some information about the supply chain that are strategic, that maybe are confidential, okay, are not fully shared with the clients. So these certification schemes try, to solve both problems, the needs of transparency, but also the needs of confidentiality.
Luca, we always like to think about the future. What's your dream that can happen in the leather industry to make sustainable improvements?
What we need is to communicate this commitment, this effort in the right way. It is not that easy because leather, guys, it is a traditional material. If somebody wants to go deepen into the leather and tanning industry, there is a lot of information that it is accessible. But sometimes it's too technical. And unfortunately today, people, they do not have time to go deeper into. So we need to be more smart. We need to more straight. We need to be more focused in try to give the right answer to the right question for sure. And sometimes if we think that the questions are not the right one, we have to make an effort to give anyway the right answer to that. If this industry wants to have, and this is what I hope, a long future ahead, we need to tackle this challenge in a very open way, with a very open mind. We need to change our mind sometimes and try to understand that the society is changing very fast. People mind is changing very fast, and we sometimes I think we are perceived like like old people, like old material, like traditional material. Oh, it's vintage things. I want something brand new. I want something, yes, like glamour. I think leather is probably one of the, well, probably is the most glamour material for fashion that you can find in the market, but sometimes we present it not in the right way.
Luca, was an amazing conversation with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Luca.
you, guys. Thank you, Niccolo. Thank you, Niccolo.
Ciao.
Hope to see you soon. Ciao from Milan.
Ciao, ciao.